Hey guys, welcome to our channel. We're starting something new and we just want to do this. We want to do something new. My name's Leslie.
And my name's Kevin.
Yeah, and we're just the video is just like to introduce ourselves into like YouTube, I guess. But we just want to do something new. I think we've always talked about trying this and we just
never
did it.
Never did it till now.
Until now, I guess. And we're just gonna try it. Like, this is just for fun. We don't really know what we're gonna do yet, but we just want to do something. Junior year of high school, which was 2017, right? Which is 2017, first day of school. I remember. Okay, so we all just got our schedules.
And we didn't know each other.
We didn't know each other at all. Like, I did know him because we went to like the same middle school, but I didn't know like him. Like, I didn't really know his name. I just recognized his face. I don't think you even know me at all.
Yeah, I didn't know her.
I didn't. Anyways, we're
it
doing
was
forever.
Junior year.
It was okay, so we just got our schedules, and this is us heading to our first period class. I got there and
I was already sitting there.
yeah, so he was already sitting there.
I was already in class.
He was already in class, so it was physics. It was physics.
Not chemistry.
And not chemistry. Everybody gets such a crack at it. They're like, oh, it seems like y'all had a lot of chemistry, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, we met in physics. Yes, it's hilarious. In my perspective, like, I walked in and, you know, you kind of always scan the room and see like, oh, he's kind of cute. Or like, I would want to be friends with this person, or I wouldn't want to be friends with that person at all. And like, I scanned the room and there's only like 5 people in that classroom, I think, during that time.
Yeah.
I saw him, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. Like, you know, whatever.
When you got into the class, our teacher would make us pick out sticks.
Oh yeah, with the number at the bottom of the stick, and like they were numbered on the table, like on the seat.
Yeah, and I first picked mine. I was already sitting down, and it was, and then she came in and she drew a stick, and she ended up sitting right next to me.
Yes, I did.
She ended up sitting
right next to him, and he was so quiet, like super shy, and I kind of recognized him, but not like oh, he went to my middle school. Like, I didn't do that. Like, I didn't really connect it because he looked a lot different. Oh yeah, so I sat next to him and he was super shy. And then I was like, hey, like, I'm Leslie. Like, what's your name? Because I'm that person who like wants to make a friend at least in one class. So I was like, hey, what's your name? And then I'm Kevin.
I'm Kevin.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that was
literally after the first week, we already had a project.
Oh yeah.
We had to draw like a cat or something.
It's like a wildcat. Because our school mascot was a wildcat, and so we had to draw like the face of like a cat. We were all gonna try to meet up, and like the other 2 partners couldn't meet up, and so it was just like us 2. It was us 2. I was like, ah.
We ended up going together to work on the project.
Oh yeah.
And then we're just talking as friends from there.
As friends. But did you like me at that point?
I thought you were pretty.
Okay, I got some game.
I thought you were pretty.
But yeah, so we're working on that project. We went to a community place. It was like 2 weeks into school, and at that point we had already exchanged like Snapchat, because we didn't exchange phone numbers.
We didn't exchange Snapchat.
Yes, we did exchange.
Your friend gave.
Oh yes, my best friend.
Your friend.
Okay, yeah. So we had an exchange. Okay.
No.
So yeah. So like I have a best friend, and she at that time had him in one of her classes as well, and somehow she got his Snapchat for him.
I don't even know how she
Yeah.
got Snapchat.
I don't remember that. And she just said like, oh yeah,
I think it was just
like a thing
like
that
for homework and stuff.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Something she's like, yeah, I just got it in class. Like, it was just like, yeah. And then she's like, and then later on, because me and her we're on the swim team, and so swim team for like the swim class for us was 7th period. And so when I saw her at the end of the day, 7th period, I had told her that how me and him were talking more, and just like it was a good conversation we were having. She was like, oh, I have his Snapchat, like I'm gonna give you his Snapchat. I was like, okay. And so I got his Snapchat, and then I was just like, me and her were like, should I Snapchat him? Like, should I just like send a picture of like the pool or whatever?
I asked her, is this the person from my first period? Because I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, yeah, who else would it be? And
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then he was like, all right, cool. That was it, right? Yeah, you were like, that was it. That was it. And then flash forward into October. Now we're in October. It was like homecoming. At that time where everybody was like freaking out, I guess, because homecoming was like 3 weeks, 4 weeks in to school, and everybody's like, I don't even have a date. I don't have like this. I don't have this. Like, oh my gosh.
And Harvey too.
Yeah, with like everything that's going on. And they like everybody like at our table, we all got along, and so we were talking about homecoming, and I had said like, oh no, I'm not gonna go. Like I don't want to go. And I ended up going. I still ended up going.
Yeah, she ended up going, and I was like, what? I was like, what?
That's when he noticed me, because my friend had convinced me to go, and I was like, okay, well, like I'll go, like we'll just pay at the door. And I remember I saw him, and I was just like, and it was the funniest thing that I saw him do, because I saw him with his like group of friends, and you know how like when there's like a dance, there's usually like that one crowd, and like everybody's in the middle with them, and he was one of those people. And it was so funny because I first saw him and his shirt had already been unbuttoned. It was just like super weird. I was like, what the heck is up with this guy? because I think it's just like, oh my gosh, like what's up with this guy, because he is so calm and quiet like, during class. For to see him like have his shirt almost completely off and just like going ham with his like friends.
Oh, I did see her in the homecoming dance.
Yeah.
She was wearing a black dress. I remember.
You remember? Like, so you noticed me. Yes, can you imagine?
And I was like, okay. Okay. I was like, okay. But then after that, I was just like, oh, whatever. I just let her do her thing.
Yeah, because I was with my friends.
Yeah, she was like with her friends the whole time. So I was like,
yeah.
But yeah, that's what happened. This is literally the homecoming. And then after the homecoming, I texted her. I thought you weren't going. Because she said she was.
Because I had made like I didn't make a big deal out of it, but I had made it known that I wasn't gonna go. And
so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I thought it was so funny because I remember I was like getting back home, and he was like, oh, I thought you weren't going, and I was like, well, I decided to just go. It's just like, well, I just decided to go last minute, and he was like, oh, all right, that's cool. Yeah. He was really like, all right, that's cool. Whatever, you know, whatever.
I was just.
Yeah, he was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then that honestly kind of started, like, for us to start talking more.
Yeah.
Besides, like,
chemistry.
Besides physics. besides, like, physics and all that. And we started talking more. But this was the moment everything changed. Okay, so we already had talking a lot more. And we were just kind of like, at that point, we weren't calling each other and, like that. We were just talking and be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and I was just waiting for the late bus with my friend, like my best friend at the time that got his like Snapchat for me. Basically, we're just talking, and then he had messaged me too, and something like, I don't know what happened but it made me question him. I was like, oh wow, like I thought we were friends. And then Mr. Smooth over here, but then over here Kevin was like, oh well, I thought we were more than that. And I was like, oh, what? You know, I was like freaking out. I was showing my best friend, and me and her were freaking out in the library, and everybody was like looking at us like, bro, like be quiet, like calm down. We were just like, oh my gosh, like what do I say? I was freaking out. And so at that point I already had like a crush on him, like actually like, oh, I kind of like him, and it wasn't just like physical attraction. Yeah. And so yeah, I was like, oh, and I was like, but then I responded like, oh well, you never said anything.
Oh, me?
No, I did, because you were like, well, I thought we were more than that. And I was like, well, you never said anything.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, I think
oh well, obviously I wasn't trying to be in a friend zone.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to friend zone her or anything.
Yeah. And then it was so funny because he was like, I'll just tell you tomorrow, like we'll just talk tomorrow,
because I'm not a phone person.
Yeah, because I was just like, okay, whatever. But I kind of want him to tell me now. I'm just like, I want to, like, I don't like the whole, like, not knowing, like, surprises kind of thing.
It wasn't a surprise. You knew it was coming.
Yeah, but I didn't know what you were going to say, like, exactly. Like, I was nervous. I was really nervous. In, like, the first period, like, he hardly looked at me. He didn't look at me at all. And I was just like, oh my gosh. I remember
because I didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, he didn't want to talk. He didn't talk to me at all that first period.
Because there was people right in front of us.
Yeah, like our table. So then after first period, we walked together, and yeah, and then we walked together, and that's when he told me like, yeah, he's like, well, I like you.
Yeah, that's when I told her I liked her. And then I was just like, but at the time I wasn't sure either. I was like, should I or should I not?
Wow. So
But I did like her.
Okay.
But I did like her. But I wasn't sure about being in a relationship at the time.
At the time. But then I changed her mind. But yeah, no, she's like, oh yeah, like I like you too. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at that moment, we that's when we like started talking, and we would try to meet up after class just to get each other to know each other more, like in person, to be more comfortable in person together than it is like on phone. Because when you're texting somebody, it's like super different than it is when you're in like face to face. So yeah, and so then we started dating like November 1st.
November 1st.
Do you wanna say how you asked me out?
Well, I didn't really ask her out.
You told me.
I didn't ask her out. I basically,
Told me.
we were walking down the hallway, and we were walking down the hallway, and I was walking her to her class, and then I was just like, I knew I was gonna make a move, but at the same time I was just like, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what day or when.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like we had been talking for like how long at that time? I think
like a month.
I think maybe 2 months.
No, a month.
Wow.
A month and a half. A month and a half.
We like didn't take long to like get together.
Basically a month.
Yeah.
And a half.
Yeah. And we had gotten to know each other a lot more, and I had told him like, hey, like I don't want to be kissing or like holding hands, like doing all that couple-y things if we're not a couple, like if we're just getting to know each other, like yeah I didn't want to do any of that stuff. So it's just like no. And so that was like already my thing. And then he wanted to make a move, you were saying.
Yeah, I made a move. So we were walking down the hallway, and then it was like 2 minutes left before the bell rang.
Oh yeah.
And there was like no one in the hallway at the time, so I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go for it.
And I was just like, what is he doing? Because it was like a long pause, and I was like, should I just go then? Like I kind of knew, but I didn't know what was happening at the same time because I was that naive. It was so naive.
And then I just kissed her. I just went for a kiss.
Yeah.
I just went for a kiss.
And that was like my first kiss. And I was like freaking out.
And then after that, it was the first one was. It was okay. It was okay.
It was okay.
So then I was
didn't
just
know
like,
it.
she said, so what are we, right?
You know, because I was just like, wait, like this is my thing. Like I don't want to be, you know.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to do this, and we're not dating.
And
then he responded with,
well, now we're dating.
yeah, he's like, well, now we are.
Yeah.
And then he left. And I remember going into my class. And I just had this like biggest like, like just this biggest like clown face. And I remember my friend in that class at that time, he was just like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, what's up with your face? Like, you look like you're paralyzed or something. I don't know. I was just like, don't even talk to you. Whatever you say is never gonna like worsen my mood now. And it was just so crazy. And I was so ready to go to lunch because after that class was lunch.
Yeah.
And we had sea lunch at that time.
Lunch.
And so I was like, oh, that's so great. Like, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go to my friends. And I told my friends. And it was the funniest thing because everybody's like, oh my gosh, no. Freaking out because yeah, it was just like, because I never had like a boyfriend really, and so it was just like a big deal. And I don't think you told your friends until like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't tell my friends until like 2 weeks. I was like, oh yeah, I have a girlfriend.
Yeah, like what the heck?
And then they're like, oh,
that's
like,
cool.
Who? And I'll show you later.
Yeah, because nobody knew me because I was really like.
They knew who you were because of middle school.
Yeah, like they knew because some of your friends we all lived in the same neighborhood basically.
Yeah, we all lived in the same.
And so we would some of his friends would like ride my bus too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically how we met and like how we started dating, and now we're 2 years in with how many months? We just did the math this morning.
4 months.
4 months. 2 years and 4 months. Wow, that's a long time. But yeah, anyways, that's just like us and how we met, and just to get to know, so y'all can get to know us. But yeah, I hope this was kind of interesting and entertaining. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day. Yeah, bye. So it's
okay, cut that out.